Kentucky football looks to keep rolling this season after posting another 10-win season last season. Quarterback Will Levis starting to get more and more hype as well. Ryan Wilson has the quarterback going 5th overall in his early 2023 mock draft. Kentucky now with 2 10-win seasons in just the past 4 years. Will Levis sitting down one-on-one with our Josh Pate.
Kentucky quarterback Will Levis joining us. Media Day circuit, man. What's this all been like for you?
It's been fun. It's been fast. It's been exciting. It's been a great opportunity to talk to everybody.
A year ago, I mean, you remember what life was like for you a year ago, and you got goals and everything, but when you looked forward to last season, is this how you saw it playing out a year later? I'm seeing my name in mock drafts. I'm headed to SEC Media Days. I'm on the front of preview magazines. Is this how you saw it going?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, this is the plan that I had. I honestly, when I was transferring, it was because I wanted to start for 2 years at a place and to have a good first year and to improve on that and to show in the next year that I was ready to take it to the next level. So, I mean, after a great year last year, I think that the mindset that I've had and the work ethic that I've had has worked thus far. I'm just going to continue to build on that. And but yeah, it's crazy how things work out. It was a lot of uncertainty, and I had a lot of confidence in myself. But to be in the position that I am now compared to last year is very, very exciting.
Was there a moment, like a game or a practice, whatever, last year where you sort of start to feel it click a little bit?
I'd probably say like midway through the season last year, like around like the LSU game, like that was our best game as an offense, and we just clicked on all cylinders. And in that kind of 5-6 game of the year, that's when I really started feeling confident in myself as a quarterback. And I think it does take a little bit of time as a starter to kind of feel that comfort. And just kept building on that throughout the year and throughout the offseason. And I feel like I'm just in a much better spot now as a player and as a leader and as an ambassador of the team to help lead us to great wins.
From the last snap you took in the 2021 season to now, what have you worked on the most personally?
I'd probably say the 2 things that I've worked on the most has been my footwork and just tying my lower body mechanics to my upper body. I think watching my tape from last year and evaluating all the throws that I missed, the interceptions I threw, and the throws that I did make, I realized that there was dissociation a lot between my lower body and upper body, and if I can stay more consistent with how I use the ground and how I put my body in a position to set me up for the best throws possible on a more consistent basis. If I can do that more consistently, then the throws will come easier to me, and I'll be able to make more completions and not miss the throws I missed last year. And then on top of that, just decision making, not throwing as many interceptions. I mean, it sounds easy, but I mean, it just takes experience and it takes reps and it takes looking at those times where you did make the wrong decision, and when those same situations come up again, to then turn them down and to take a check down. And I did a lot of that in the spring, and making sure I got the backs a lot of catches, giving them confidence as well that I'm going to get them the ball and that they can make big plays out of the backfield was really fun.
You can't ignore what people are saying. It's not like you can truly live in a bubble. To a certain extent, you can try and insulate yourself, but you know what people are starting to say when you start having success. And you know the NFL's on the horizon somewhere, but like I got a year at Kentucky coming up this year. You got some personality about yourself. You're not robotic. But at the same time, when you hear people talk, you kind of have to tune it out. What is that personal process like? What kind of mechanism do you personally use to keep all that out?
Yeah, you definitely can't stay in a bubble, but I try to as much as I can. I hear those things, and I acknowledge them like kind of at first base, that it's cool, and then you kind of just got to throw them away and focus on the task at hand. I think that as long as I wake up every day with the team goals in mind first, and our main goal is to be in Atlanta and be back here for the SEC Championship in December, and making sure that all my actions are in line with that goal, then all the other stuff's going to take care of itself, and I can't get too caught up about individual stuff.
What's this offensive staff like in Kentucky? Had a little bit of turnover,
yeah.
So what's the new staff like? What new portions of the staff?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, new offensive line coach, new offensive coordinator. Luckily, we have a lot of carryover from the offense last year to this year, but there is new terminology and there are new concepts that I'm really pumped about. Coach Scangarello is a mastermind of offense, and his experience working with high-caliber quarterbacks at the professional level has helped us tremendously just learn about how we operate and why we do the things that we do. And he's been great, and I'm excited to kind of see how we're going to string the offense together this year.
It seems like when I've listened to people talk about Kentucky, they mention your name, and then when they're talking about offense, they talk about who Kentucky lost. Yeah. And there's not a lot of mention about the names there. You're closer than anyone to it. Now you've gone through spring and you're in summer conditioning and summer workouts right now. So give me some names that may not be all over the preview magazines and whatnot that we're going to eventually know come fall.
I'm going to give a shout out to my offensive line. I mean, we lost 3 starters there, and a lot of people were saying how, like, oh, like they're not going to be as solid up front. But, I mean, Deion Buford at left tackle, Jeremy Flax at right tackle, both guys that have had reps before that haven't really been able to be in the spotlight and to be in that starting role. For them to have all of spring to progress and all of camp to progress, they are just both just physically and athletically gifted people that if they continue to work can be just elite tackles at this level, and the rest of the interior guys as well. Like we also have a great bullpen, as I like to say, of backups, and we know that they can come in and perform for us whenever we can or whenever we need them. But I'm really proud with how they've worked and how they've especially handled the situation with the new offensive line coach and having to work with them.
All right, last question for you. Sure, aside from just wins and losses, when you look at one thing, one goal that you have for this year, for the team or for yourself, what is it?
I'd probably say to come away from the season with no regrets. I don't want to look back and say, oh, I could have done this, or I should have worked harder at this. I think that's something that I've thought about, and you hear so many people come away from anything that they've ever done that, if only I did this, we could have gotten here. Like, I want to walk away with as little regrets as possible, and if I keep that in mind whenever I'm deciding to do one thing or the other, then it makes those decisions a little easier for me.
Will Levis, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Will Levis, humble but certain, saying this was the plan the whole time, taking a look at odds to be the #1 pick in next year's draft. CJ Stroud there at the very top, followed by Bryce Young. Most people, however, do like Will Anderson right now, but Will Levis is up there with 20-1 odds.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.